Welcome to YAP.
Welcome to YAP. How are we?
What's up? Oh my goodness. Any funny stories other than the fact that Abdel doesn't have the same balls that I do?
No, and no one's going to get that because they're not going to hear the start of this. But I thought it might be interesting on like little updates every day about
Our
strategy.
Our strategy?
Yeah, day 2. How do you feel it went?
I haven't seen the stats this morning. I was kind of running around like a madman.
So it's sitting at 48.8 thousand. So it's about 20k less than what yesterday's was at the same time, but still about 10 times higher than our average.
Yep.
The retention time dropped faster, but still not bad.
That's okay. I think that's just because people will have seen it. That's the thing. But one of the days, it will be, for some odd reason, an influx of people who haven't seen it.
There's still lots of people who
Just
haven't
be
seen
one of
it,
the
like
days.
29.6. Yeah, which is quite good. So, for those of you watching along, it's going well. It's more non-followers yesterday than the day before.
Yeah, as a percentage.
Yeah.
It's also interesting. People hop off as soon as the water is already flashing. That's it. And then they're like, okay, yeah, she did it. That's my proof.
It would be interesting to do something right at the end. Like just something.
To
like
get
give
people
them
to
something.
comment?
Yeah, and then people go, wait, what are the comments about? I don't get it. I have to watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I get it.
The people who fall off this video
Yeah.
must actually not even give a shit. They must just be like, what is this? I'm going.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Because it's too short to not like try read the caption. And what if you should just put a really long caption every day? Like just some real like inspiring thing. If you want something in life, you just got to get out there and get it. Just throw the bucket of water on your head and keep moving forward.
Life is like a bucket of water.
You never know what you're going to get.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah,
it's not bad.
it's not bad. I don't mind. I think it's pretty good. I think it's a good start to the series. I think we'll just see how it. I mean, we're always gonna see how it goes anyway.
Well, there is like already suggestions on how to change it, which is exciting because then people will start like continue to give suggestions. Like even if they feel like there's no value in the thing, they're like, my value is to try convince her to do something else.
Which is what you want. You just want customer interaction. And also, we had a comment on TikTok on our post going, where is the water bucket content? Which is a great sign.
Interesting.
And I just wrote Instagram.
Duh.
What do you think it was?
And how long ago was that comment made?
Oh, like last night.
Oh, cute.
I don't know. Go so far. Like, oh yeah, last night. Eric Magusty.
Yeah, so funny. Void Star Lord messaged me like 2 days ago, a day ago, on my personal account, being like, "Hey, where have you been? I'm confused. I'm concerned. You just left without a word, without a peep. Where did you go? Please tell me you're the only reason that I'm on TikTok." I'm like, oh, Void Star Lord.
Oh, I love Void Star
I
Lord.
hear and I see you. It's okay. I'm still alive.
What did you say?
I just said.
You say, wait.
Yep.
Be ready. Watch party Friday. Okay, we better get into this because this podcast sucks so far. And this is just us live checking our social media feed. God, we should start again. Third time's a charm. Fuck. Just live. Welcome to YAP. All right, let's actually get into this. So,
Abdel not knowing which one to choose.
I know, just make a mashup of all three. Just like it starts off like, welcome to YAP, welcome to YAP. All right, so newsletter. We got a few good topics in here today. So, it's talking about Instagram's changes, but we kind of spoke about that last week. But I think there's something I just wanted to reiterate is the one about what they're going to do for small creators, because I actually just think it's what they've always done, but they've just maybe made it better.
Yeah.
Which is take your content, get a select few pieces of content. They show all of them to a group of people. They take the best ones. They show it to a bigger group of people. Take the best ones. Show it to an even larger group of people. That's how TikTok's always worked. And I'm sure that's how Instagram's been working for ages. It has to be.
Yeah, I just don't understand. What, is it just a bigger testing pot, maybe?
Yeah, well, it says the app says it has created a new ranking system where Reels get shown to a small audience. Then they show the top performing sets of Reels to a bigger audience and then the most popular from that group. So I think it's just that, like, it's just exactly what TikTok did. It's like 200, 1,000.
Yeah.
4,000, something like that.
Goes.
10,000. So you kind of got views in a bracket. You didn't get views. You couldn't get like, oh, it's different now, but like you couldn't get 6,000 views. Really, like if you're a small account.
After like a little bit, it would grow up to that. But
if all your views were coming from For You page, they were like tiers. Like you always got a tier. It always showed you to this many people. It's a bit different once you're big though, because like then your profile, like people come to your profile.
Yeah, I was telling Laura when we were re-strategizing, and we were talking about taking it from 50 to what does that number look like and blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, well, if we have a monthly goal of 10 million. So let's just work backwards and see like what is the average that I have to hit per video for the amount of videos you want. And so to get to 14 videos a week, so two a day, that would have meant I had to average 200K views per video. And then she was like, oh, like would that, okay, how do we make it 7 videos a day? I'm like, okay, so that means 400K views. Or maybe it was like 100, 200 or something like that. Anyway, she was saying, okay, so if you want to get the 200K views per video, you have to make like a better video. Do you think you can guarantee that? Why don't you just do the more quantity and then do 100K per video? And I was like, if I'm getting 100K, I'm getting 200K. It's the same.
It's the same, eh?
Yeah,
it is the same. If you can get over 100K, you're in the 100K whatever bracket, or you're the million.
Yeah, I was like,
maybe 500,000. Maybe there's a difference at half mil.
There's the drop off period, right? So it's like you'll hit 100 and then it'll test and then it'll drop off between like 1 to 500K.
Yeah,
it'll drop off. But if you're climbing to 500, like you're gonna go a mil plus. Yeah,
that is funny. It's you're either creating 100,000 view video or a million view video.
Yeah,
agreed. We know that because we'll put out a video. Oh yeah, it's going. Oh, it's not going. It's a 100K video.
Stop.
It's not a million view video, and you can just see by its trajectory.
Yeah,
it might later on get like 350 or something because
just because it ends up
trickling through and stuff, lingers around for a bit over the next 3 weeks.
Especially because it like reappears or like it'll appear on people's following. Like if you follow a bunch of people and like there's so much content to get to, then like on our video's not the front of it, it'll just make its way there.
Yeah, exactly.
Slowly. So
yeah, that is funny. I think it's either you're either doing the 100,000s of views videos, or you're going in for strategy to do let's get a few million each week on one video.
Yeah.
Like let's have a banger each week. You probably couldn't do 10 million doing that. You probably have to do 2, or you probably have to do 5 a week, because you'd have to do like a couple million, like a 1 or 2 million view video, like a 1 million view video sort of thing, that range, and then a few 100,000 view videos to get to 2.5 for the week.
Yeah,
you probably couldn't. Not right now. Not with our style of content. Guarantee 2.5 million every video. It's pretty hard. But you could potentially you could definitely, with the right storylines, get a 4 or 5 million view video once a month.
Yep.
With the right, like the Fridays one, like the first one you came back with, like if you do it right,
I'm so excited.
it could be somewhere between 3 and 5 mil. You get to that bracket of video. But the problem with that, even a 5 mil video takes a month. You don't
Yeah,
get to 5 mil
trickles.
overnight.
Yep.
Takes a month.
It'll
1.5, 2.
by the time you're over it, it's a 1.52. And then
then
by
it-
the time you check it again, like on one random day and you've
Yeah.
forgotten about
Yep.
it, it's at 4 to 5 or something.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, sales Instagram. We've talked about that before. Get on Instagram. Stop being useless. The next one they had in there was this Impossible Burgers.
Yes.
Have you ever tried this?
No, I've never tried Impossible
Neither.
Burgers.
I don't think I ever would.
Yeah, I mean, we're not.
I'd rather just get McDonald's. No, because it isn't. It's not like, and this is the point of the story, right? It's not good for you, the food.
Vegan alternatives are so processed and blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
And like we've gotten to a point now where we realize as a society that you can't cheat your way to good health. Like you've just got to eat good whole foods. And so people have got that now. And actually, like vegetables are delicious.
Agreed.
Like I wouldn't be vegan, but I wouldn't go, oh, I really need to eat plant-based food, so I'm going to eat a Possible Burger.
Yeah.
I don't know if the behavior's there, right? I get it. I get that people might be trying. I get it. Obviously, there's enough people there. It's for those like people who are like, I love meat, but I want to try to be vegan because I heard it's good, but I can't give up the meat.
Yeah.
Whereas like people like me are like, I don't want to be vegan, but if I want to be healthier,
I'd just have veggies with my meal rather than a veggie patty.
rather than deep fried fries. So anyway, I think they have a really tough issue, which is to showcase in their 89% plummet in their stocks, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's...
Imagine being worth 1/10 of what you were. Fuck, that's scary, man. I don't know what the actual numbers were, but that is... Oh, wait, they put it in there, eh? No. It is offering shares at $1.67 currently. In October 2021, it was $14.64. Man, that is crazy. That's pretty scary. Like to have 10, because that, like, you think about the people who own it.
Yeah, you...
Say it $1 million in there, you just lost $900,000. That's
terrifying
crazy.
to think about.
And 20% of its employees were laid off.
Yeah, that's sad.
So there is definitely something fundamentally wrong with plant-based food. I think this is going to sound real woo-woo maybe of me, but it's actually just sci-fi geek version of me.
What?
That, like in Star Trek, they have this thing called a replicator, but in lots of like sci-fi, they have these sorts of things where at a it's a machine that recreate things at a molecular level. So it's like 3D printing atoms essentially.
Okay, yeah.
Right? So if you 3D print at that molecular level, you can just create anything you want.
Yeah.
I don't reckon that's impossible to do. Like, I don't really know science that well, but surely that's like that, or even better is the guys who do precision fermentation and like Winely, our old client, Execule, who like actually can recreate actual meat.
Yep.
Do you think if you can make lab grown meat and it tastes exactly the same, you can't tell the difference?
Yep.
One, would you eat it? If it was the same price as, but like, or okay, because it can be lab grown, it could probably be made cheaper. So you could get like top grade steak.
Yeah, so
for cheaper.
That's what I was just thinking in my brain. But then it's like, where do the pros and cons end? Because obviously the cons, there's like, oh, the environment and blah, blah, blah. If it takes this huge thing that fucking has wider...
That was worse than having the cows.
That was worse than having the cows?
I don't think so. And the reason I don't think so is because farming cows is very crazy, very water intensive, very labor intensive. You've got to grow the food first to feed the cow. And it's like itself. A 10-to-1 ratio. Yeah. So you've got to farm 10 times the place that you need just to feed the cow kind of thing. You know
and
what
the
I mean?
Cow itself is...
I mean, most of them, like New Zealand, they eat grass. But still, the amount of grass, the amount of land that you've got to have and all that sort of stuff.
So, I mean...
So let's pretend the environmental impact was the same.
Same. I would, yeah.
But it was, you could get better quality meat for cheaper.
I'd eat it.
Yeah, you would, right? You would. You wouldn't
Like
know.
if everything else like lined up the same, like how it
Like if it was molecularly the same
nutrients
thing.
and everything, like sure, why not? Why wouldn't I?
Why wouldn't you, right?
I just feel like it would be cheaper as well, wouldn't it? Like production wise, like surely in the long run, if you think about it, it actually would be cheaper than the real meat.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Because you're not growing all the stuff you don't need.
Interesting. You've never watched Upload?
Nah.
I don't think you'll like it because the acting's really bad. But it's about like when you die, you upload into like a server, and then you can live your afterlife in a server.
Got it. Yeah.
But in real life, everything like the tech is like pretty advanced, and so the poor eat printed food, and they get really like excited when you have like, oh my gosh, like that's non-printed food. Like you grew that carrot that is crazy.
Yeah.
It's so interesting.
That's what would happen.
Yeah, that's what would happen.
100%. If everyone is eating printed food, then the real food would be a luxury, of course. And I reckon like real cow would go through the roof. And it would take, you know what? It'd probably be bad.
Because you would be so trained to like printed food?
No, I mean as in it would be like there would have to be, because if we can print quality stuff, you'd just be printing Kobe beef.
Okay.
Right? So you'd just be printing, why make shitty beef?
Just make
just because it's the same effort, right? It's the same effort. It's not the same as doing right now with the Kobe beef. They've got to like massage the cows and do all the things that they do, and then to make the crappy like farm grown like the American beef, sitting in a thing eating grain all day, real cheap and easy to do. Why would you make that beef in a lab when you could make Kobe beef in a lab if it's the same thing, right?
I guess so. Yeah.
So anyway, I think once that happens, because you've got this taste of like really good, nice marbled grass-fed beef, then
when you
have real stuff, you'd have to have a different taste to make you go, oh, I like this. It's an acquired taste, like you gotta, you know what I mean? Like, so you'd have this like they would put a different flavor profile into it, because otherwise, if we're all eating what was Kobe beef or Wagyu
or
whatever Japanese beef, then we'd have to have a different flavor. But yeah, so I think like that as an alternative, because like, can vegans eat that now?
Because it's lab grown.
I mean, what is the philosophy around not eating meat or plant or animal stuff as a vegan?
I'm not gonna pretend that I know.
I mean, one of the main arguments is that it's like murder to them.
Right,
So
that's what I thought. Right, so you're not murdering them because it was never alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Solves everything.
I mean, they murder plants. That's pretty mean.
They do count as like living organisms, and
but I'm not going to get into the argument of the vegans. So yeah, I think there's a fundamental problem with impossible foods.
Impossible foods, learn how to print your meat.
They're already doing it though, right? Like in Israel, there's a place, I'll probably get cancelled for this, but anyway, there is just a place in Israel that makes lab grown meat.
Interesting.
It costs like for this tiny little steak like 10 grand, because like it's an actual lab, not in a factory yet. But I watched it on a documentary of like a guy eating it, and they're like, this is indistinguishable from eating real meat. Like no one could tell the difference between the two, because that's how good it is. It just is beef. Like there is nothing different about it, which is crazy. So figure it out, Impossible Foods. But I guess the point of this is they realize that they're failing, and the marketing ploy was to rebrand.
Yeah.
So stop going after vegans and go after meat eaters. It's smart, I think, in terms of why would you, like, I don't think this is really a good thing to go after. What are we talking about?
Meat eaters?
No, vegans. I don't think it's right to go after vegans. What do you think about the branding? Did you ever look at it?
No.
So the branding is this.
Very meat heavy.
It just looks like it's meat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah, I think I think people would not realize that it's a vegan patty. and then get mad when they get home. That's what Alistair does. Like, he'll see something is good because it's cool packaging or whatever, which typically those like vegan alternatives and blah blah blah, like they look very different and whatever. And he'll come home, he'll bring it home, and he'll realize it's vegan and just have a fit.
That is so funny.
Yeah, because I don't know if you can even see it, but the smallest line is the made from plants part.
Is the what?
The made from plants like line is the smallest part of the packaging. So it could be like real misleading.
Got it.
Like that ground beef one, because it's got the huge like 19 grams, like blah 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 blah, Impossible ground beef. He sure as hell would have bought that, or the burger patties, or whatever, and then just lost it. He would have lost it when he got home.
Yeah. I mean, you'd only make the mistake once. You only lose it because, like, you realize that you were the dumbass.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know?
Yeah.
Because it's not like...
They're not tricking you completely because
Nah.
they are telling you.
They are telling you. And also, like, it's a massive business with a massive brand. It'd be like buying Nikes and be like, I thought this was Adidas. I'm so angry about this. You know? Kind of.
Oh, my goodness.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't think it's enough to save him.
But, yeah, so going back to that, yeah, maybe Alistair lost it, whatever, that's his fault.
Yeah, it's fine. No, yeah.
He would have told himself in his brain already, as a meat eater, even if he wanted to buy it, he would have told himself, this is going to taste different.
Oh, yeah,
I
for sure.
already don't like this.
Yeah.
As much as I'm like, I have an open mind, he's going to be like, I don't like this.
No.
All the time.
I don't think meat eaters... I think at some point, like, trying to go after it, I just think there's something fundamentally wrong with the category. I just don't think it's a sustainable category. I think it was a category that needed to happen to transition people into more plant-based food.
Yep.
I think there's like sometimes like when new things arrive, some casualties have to happen. Like a good example, well, I don't know if it's a good example, but an example is search on the internet. There were lots of different people and players in the game before Google came along and wiped everyone out. And like everyone's got to try their thing until we land on the thing that ends up becoming the thing. And I don't know if impossible meat or like fake meat is the thing, but there's this change to like we essentially are going back to pre-industrial revolution foods, where foods aren't all made in a factory.
Yep.
Is what we're trying to do.
Yep.
There'll be like always a proportion of processed food because the world's not equal and we don't all get to be rich and buy whole foods. But I don't know what the answer is. I just think that there's something else. I just don't think the impossible meats is it. It's just not like it's too processed. It's never going to taste the same as an actual piece of meat. And there's all, and like the psychology of humans, it's too hard to overcome that piece. And the vegans and actually healthy lifestyle, like we all just want actual real food now. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. Maybe in a few years. I mean, 90% in a year, like they might not be here next year.
Yeah, that's fucking tough.
You know, they could drop. That's a massive drop.
That's tough.
So anyway, impossible. Good luck.
Good luck with the impossible.
What would you do? We got nothing really else in there except for like stuff we talked about. What would you do if you're Impossible Foods? What marketing campaign? Like, what would you do if TikTok? Let's say Impossible's like, dinner seeker, you got to make TikToks. I need help. I need these kids to buy it.
Oh, gosh. I don't even know where I would start. I think it's harder as a meat eater and someone who's never really looked into alternatives until now. And the only reason I would choose an alternative is because like it affects my health at a detriment. So like becoming vegan wouldn't have, like being a meat eater actually wasn't a detriment to my life. But like if you're celiac and you're like gluten free, like that is the only reason that I would be changing my diet. So I'm finding it really hard to understand why I would change.
So if you think about, I get it, but if you think about like trying to make a campaign for this, to just to get people to know, because there's heaps of people who don't know what Impossible is. There's billions of people who don't know Impossible because it's not Nike, it's not Coca-Cola, it's not that big of a brand, right? So if we just wanted to create a TikTok page to just like market something like this, rather than trying to get people to switch diets, don't worry about the problem it fixes or anything.
My brain like just wants to use like the word meat as like an innuendo, like beat the meat or like.
Have you seen that all like sexual innuendo crap is actually so funny on TikTok when it's done by the right people? And have you seen this one? I gotta show you one. This is probably all we're gonna have to show. There's this. I stumbled across this creator. She kind of went off for this one video. It's not as big as it is, but I've seen so many people make remakes of it. Oh, don't you hate it when you don't like and save stuff?
Yep. Always.
Oh, surely I think I followed her because I wanted to show it. The other thing I hate is having multiple profiles on my phone and not knowing which profile I was on at the time. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, so you might have to find some way to clip this out for the thing, but.
How to know if white cock or black cock is right for you. Let's talk about it. It's important to know that both will get the job done. But depending on your needs and what you need to fill, one is definitely better than the other. In my case, I will be choosing the black cock for the front. If you are working with a large gap or hole, you will see that this is going to work beautifully. Now for the back door, my preference is a white cock. As you can see here, the slit that I need to fill is much smaller. This is going to be perfect. Now, I know some of you may be thinking it's a little excessive to have two different cocks to get the job done. But
anyway, it goes on for ages and you can watch it.
There you go.
There you go.
It was great.
Meat eaters.
Meat eaters. Meat beaters.
Meat injectors. It's fun. Yeah.
There's my campaign. It's not original. I think if you put 20 people in a room, 15 of us would have said, beat your meat.
Yeah, maybe. Beat the meat. Beat the meat.
Yeah.
Got it. That's a good slogan. Beat the meat. That's funny. That's right. That's good. There you go. There you go, Impossible Foods. The Beat the Meat campaign. We'll see you later.
Yeah.
That was YAP.
Ciao for now.
Bye.